I'm Jake Tapper. More now in our politics lead. Donald Trump's proposal to bar Muslims from entering the U.S. until Congress can, quote, figure out just what the hell's going on. That's a quote. Democrats and Republicans across the presidential field are condemning the Republican frontrunner. I'm joined now by CNN political commentator S.E. Cuck and Katrina Pierson, who is national spokesperson for the Trump campaign. Thanks to both of you for being here. Katrina, I want to start with you. We just heard from Republican presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson about Trump's plan. He said that he agrees with Vice President Cheney, that plan is not who we are, that it's contrary to the Bill of Rights, and that we are not a nation that reacts in a fearful way. How do you respond to Dr. Carson?
Well, Dr. Carson's been walking his comments back since he got in the race, considering he was the one that said he wouldn't have a Muslim as president. But, you know, Dr. Carson is a very nice man, Jake. He's just simply not a wartime commander. S.E.,
what are your thoughts on Trump's comments yesterday about this blanket ban or at least moratorium on Muslims entering the U.S.?
I think, as you pointed out to Dr. Carson, it's pretty dumb. There's really no way to ensure that people coming to either visit or move here are telling you the truth about their religion or as Carson suggested, what they plan to do in the country. I mean, I'm sure no one's going to come in and say, I'm going to be a terrorist in your country. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I also think it gives ISIS exactly what it wants, which makes us less safe. I also think it's pretty morally repulsive, and I think it's unconstitutional and un-American. And I don't see a shred of what Donald Trump is suggesting that is conservative by nature at all. So I'm not really sure what his supporters are turned on by here. He can't deliver on half of the promises that he's made because they will either need Congress to go bananas and go crazy, or to change the Constitution. So I think he's going to be a very disappointing president if he ever gets elected.
Katrina, Speaker Paul Ryan of the House not only condemned Donald Trump's proposal publicly today, saying it's not who we are as a party or as a nation. He also privately, according to Josh Rogan of the Daily Beast, said that if Republicans follow Trump's lead on this, it will sink the party. How can he get Congress to go along when that's the kind of language coming from Speaker Ryan?
Well, Speaker Ryan and the rest of the establishment haven't really been pushing Republican values to begin with. But, you know, just in response to SE, I mean, there's no constitutional requirement to allow anyone to immigrate to the United States. And there's already U.S. laws on the books giving Congress the authority to ban immigration from nations that are hostile towards America. So this is really nothing new. And Mr. Trump doesn't really care what ISIS thinks or ISIS wants. All he cares about is the American public. And since we're talking about Paul Ryan, just today we're talking about reforming the visa system. We're talking about stopping the refugees from coming because the FBI says there is no way to process or vet these people appropriately. Homeland Security Director says we know for a fact through the Counterterrorism Center that the refugees have been infiltrated. All Donald Trump is saying is we need to put a pause on bringing more people into this country until those things are put into place. And it's just that simple.
It's not that simple, and that's why so many people on both sides of the aisle have come out and summarily denounced this. It's not nothing new, as you say. There really is something new to the idea of banning an entire religious group from entering the country as a pause or temporarily, as it may be. That is new. That is not who we are. That's not what we do. It's against the Immigration and Nationality Act. It's completely illegal, and it would conflict with parts of the Constitution involving due process and parts of the Constitution involving the freedom of religion. So it would be a big hurdle for Donald Trump to convince this Congress or any Congress to allow the United States to ban people based on their religion from entering the country. And peddling this unconservative, un-American, unconstitutional garbage has got to stop. We need Republicans to win again,
in the Congress
and he is
for
making that impossible.
Long before Donald Trump said anything, S.E. And yes, this country has done it before. Never in United States history have we ever allowed insurgents to come across these borders, and it's worse now today,
No one's talking about allowing insurgents. You're talking about not allowing
leading it.
Regular Muslims. That's what you're talking about. No one's talking about insurgents. Who wants insurgents
from
to come
Arab
over?
nations. You know what? So what? They're Muslim. The
So
issue
what?
here is that
That's
if you're
not the
not
America
trying
we
to
live in, Katrina.
No, it is. But it is, SE, simply because you have people coming across through the refugee system and the visa system, including the woman that came in San Bernardino on a visa system, as well as some of the 9/11 hijackers. We have to put a pause to figure out how we could better vet these people.
Okay.